Hi there and welcome to a new series of the online guitar making course. This time we'll be making a steel string guitar, an OM model, so pretty traditional. We'll be using some electrical tools and machines, but if you don't have those, don't worry. I'll be referring to the relevant episode of the first series so you can see how all of that stuff is done by hand or using hand tools. Now for woods, I'm going to be pretty traditional. I have some Sitka spruce here. This has a bit of a bear claw figure, so that's nice. You may want to use 80 Rondak because that's pretty good stuff. And there's mahogany for the neck, which is pretty much standard. And I'll be showing you how to do a V-joint on this guitar for the headstock, so that's going to be interesting. And back and sides, I'm using African blackwood. It's a rosewood, very dark and pretty heavy, and it's going to have a Venetian cutaway. Other woods that you could use are Indian rosewood or mahogany, depending on the sound you're after. So let's get started with the top. We bring the initial thickness of the top down to, or the two halves of the top, down to 5/32 of an inch, about 4 millimeters. And to do that I use a thickness planer, and so time to make some noise. The top is down to 4 millimeters now, and that's close enough for now. The planing really brought out the bear claw figure. It's not very spectacular, but it looks nice. So now I'm gonna drew the center line, the seam, and we can glue the two halves together. Okay, this is how I glue the two halves of the top together. I have a wooden board with a piece of tape here, so they won't stick to the tops won't stick to the wood, and I can get them nice and flat like this. I'll flatten this with a piece of fiberboard like so. You don't need a whole lot of pressure here. This is just to actually, the weight is more important, I think. It's just to keep it down a bit, like so. Then we put some glue. Thank you. There we go. Once again, we use the high-tech glue applicator, like so. Not too thick. You don't need a whole lot of glue in there. Then put the two halves together. There you go. a whole lot of force, just enough to press those two together, and well, there shouldn't be a whole lot of glue. Squeeze out, just there we are. When the two halves are joined, check your center seam, and if you're happy with that, then bring the thickness down to 1/8 of an inch maybe, so 3.2 millimeters for now. My thickness sander is not wide enough to cover this whole area, so I'm going to cut off some excess material first and then bring it down to 1/8 of an inch. I've sanded the top down to 3.2 millimeters, about 1/8 of an inch, using 120 grit paper, and that's about as coarse as I want to go on my guitars. We'll leave the top for a bit now and concentrate on the rosette, which we'll be making and inlaying next time. See you then.